All right. Where's our frequency holders? Wild times, everybody. Coming on to do a little live transmission here. Just kind of a reminder and a support call. I know that many of you are aware of what I may share, but I've had a lot of people reaching out to me that don't understand the bigger picture. And I'm not claiming in any way to have it all figured out or to know it all, but I have followed patterns for decades. And the good news is, even though there's a lot of people that may be in turbulence right now, the key is to really step back and be a calm, conscious observer. Doesn't mean don't take any action. It doesn't mean don't help anybody. It doesn't mean that you might not get triggered or go into judgment, because what some of these people are doing that work for the dark are diabolical beyond what most people could even imagine. And so it can create a trigger, of course. But let's look at the bigger picture, okay? So you've got fires in California. We're going to do a small little meditation blast for a minute and a half here a little bit to send healing energy to everybody. And hey, gorgeous, good to see you. Right on time. Yep. So we're going to do a little blast for that. But let's look at the bigger picture here, okay? Because a lot of people think that things are getting worse. Things are not getting worse. They're getting uncovered. And the good news is, which everybody would love to hear some good news, the level of darkness has been going on for thousands of years. Now look, it's right in our faces. Anybody watching this probably knows, even if you're not sure, that you came here to be part of this. And so the key to zooming out and being calm and just going, okay, that's pretty ugly. That's pretty diabolical. What they're doing to the food, air, the water, the children, the frequencies, But look, we're still standing, and nothing can touch us when we understand that we are the I am presence. And so, hey, Rob, it's great to see you. So let's look at the program. And when I say the program, I mean, where is the majority of people's energy going right now? Well, for people that have seen this plan or loop or playbook over and over and over and over, we can see it's the same old playbook. There's another bird flu. Next week, there'll be a duck flu, then a worm flu, then a frickin' pumpkin flu. It's the same thing. But look, what is on the news and the media? The fires. The fires. They're not talking about all the people that got injured from the JIB or the children that are being trafficked or any of that. Isn't that interesting? What are they doing when you're zoomed out? They're creating a feed of energy so they can sustain their control. And when you see that, you go, oh, okay. So what is the best use of my energy and my conscious awareness right now? It's not to be not compassionate or to don't care, but it's to be aware of what you are allowing to give your energy, focus, and attention to, because that's all they can feed off of. And the media is their biggest tool. It's really their only tool that's left. And that's coming down very soon. What's going to happen during this month of January 2025? This is the final, this will be the shock month. This and maybe the next couple months. And it could continue. I don't have the exact timeline, but anybody that's been paying attention for years can see that the light is won and the dark is just throwing a tantrum. But let's look at this. We may not like it. We don't like seeing people be intentionally harmed, killed, poisoned, or whatever. But let's look at this from a soul contract standpoint. Everybody chose a specific soul contract before they incarnated into these human bodies, before they had to slow down their frequency from an unlimited quantum divine being and chose to come down here into these lower frequency dimensions. Now, why would somebody do that? You're in total heaven. There's no disease. There's no aging. There's no judgment. There's no separation. There's no hunger. You're not paying to live on a planet. You live at the highest level of love because that's your home frequency. And that will never go away. Even if you go through roller coaster rides, hatred, life, death, make mistakes, whatever it is, you're always going to return back to love because that's all there is. So, if we chose to come down here and everybody chose their specific role, those that may be on their way out or that get harmed, it doesn't mean we don't have compassion for them. They're the heroes. You know, the people that took on the toughest challenges in this life, they're not the losers. They're the ones that end up learning on a deeper level what true love and compassion is. And then they go on to share that with others. Everybody that I journey with that goes through the waking up in the dream transformational experience with me, they've all been through some deep, deep shit. And they finally get to the point where they're like, I'm ready to clear this. I'm like, wow, let's do it. You know, for anybody to put their trust in me, oh my God, I take it so seriously. I'm 1,000% on board with them 24/7 for 30 days or 90 days or whatever we decide to do. But getting back to the point of the darkness that's happening right now. Anybody can look around and see that there's still people that haven't awakened. They're like, and the only thing that I can think of is at this point, which is perfect, everybody chose their role and their contract. So, number one, we don't judge them. We don't call them sheeple anymore. Everyone is connected. There are mirrors. So anytime we might have a judgment, we stop immediately and catch it and take a breath and go, okay, the 5 magic life-changing transformational mantra. What is the gift here? Which really breaks down on a deeper level to, what is this attempting to show me or teach me about me? It's not about what's out there. That's the mirror. Okay? And I know a lot of you know this, but I have to start at a starting point. And I'm just reminding Jeff, because I don't even know if anybody's out there. You know, it's a deep illusion, but it's all based in love. So check it out. All of the stuff that's happening right now that appears to be really dark and diabolical is waking up a lot more people day by day, by day, by day, by day. Even if they didn't want to admit it, they didn't want to look at it because it's too painful. They didn't want to admit that almost every single thing they've ever been taught has been a lie. That's a pretty tough pill to swallow. But at some point, you either have to be red-pilled and get on board with it and go, oh, wow, okay. So I came down here from an unlimited divine place where there were no problems, no issues, only love. Why would I have chosen to come down here? Why would I have chosen to come down and go through the most incredible roller coaster ride that seems like crazier than any movie you've ever seen. And because we had to forget every single thing we learned as part of our agreement, because we trusted that we knew at some point we would remember who we are, what the mission was, and we would make it back out. And we could help a lot of our brothers and sisters in the process. Why would we choose to do that? Because it's the greatest journey and adventure that we could ever find anywhere in the cosmos, or one of them anyway. So give yourself a big high five. And if you're in fear, or you're worried, or you're having issues with money or health or anything, go within. Go within and go, okay, what is the gift here? Don't fight. Don't project that the problem is out there. It's the government. Yeah, that stuff is happening. But our power is in here going, okay, I'm going to pull back. And I'm going to go within, and I'm going to go, okay, what is it that might make my body being ill right now? Am I eating properly? Am I putting a bunch of sugar and non-food into my body? This is all a process, everybody, so I'm not judging anybody. I lived in a recording studio for over 20 years. I ate fast food almost every day. We drank beer. We were partying. I'm not judging anybody. This is just, it's frequency. Putting high frequency things into our body is healthy. Putting high frequency loving thoughts into our body is healing. Being willing to forgive ourselves and everyone else that perfectly played their role as part of our agreed upon soul contract. Okay? I can't prove that to you, but I tried every other avenue to really come into peace with Jeff and forgive Jeff and love Jeff. And Jeff had a not good enough program as part of his soul contract of what he chose to have happen to him when he was younger. You know, dad dying very early on and having a couple of stepfathers that ruled with an iron fist. And that was part of my learning, being placed into private Catholic schools where the nuns were angry every day, and every day was Judgment Day. And I got to see those programs. Some of them took me a while longer. But the point is, we're not victims. So the only thing to do in every situation is to go, what is the gift here? I would write it down. I would put it on your rearview mirror. I would tattoo it in reverse on your forehead when you look in the mirror so you can have a reminder. This will change your life. It'll change your frequency. And we're here to do that right now. The timelines are splitting. Some people are going to choose to be ruled by governments that want to chip them, enslave them, and make it so if they don't do every single thing the government says, they're going to turn off their money, turn off their electricity, put them in a smart city, turn off their car. Some people might choose that. Others are still not aware. So if we are here to support others instead of judging them, and we just keep sending love and healing energies to everyone, especially like a Bill Gates or a George Soros or anybody else that's poison, send them love and light, healing. We cannot hold judgment and anger towards anybody and move into a higher frequency timeline, because those frequencies don't exist in 5D and beyond, for lack of a better label. I don't know what D it is, but currently we're talking about 3D versus 5D and beyond. And it's a starting point. So we must forgive everyone. And check this out. Possibly the people that appear to be the darkest and the most evil and the most diabolical could be ascended masters that chose to come down here and play that role in order to awaken people. It's a wild dream. It's a wild dream. If anybody has any questions, I don't know if I'll be able to answer it, but I do have some really powerful tools, and I do a lot of mirroring with clients and people, and they're my teachers too. I'm not above anybody, but I've been studying and using these tools from the book Waking Up in the Dream for, well, I've been studying them for 20 years, but I wrote the book about 9 years ago. And it works, and it's faster than anything else I've ever found. And so if anybody has any questions, if anybody's having a tough time out there, feel free to, pop in a question, and we'll send you some love and healing energy if you need it. What is occurring right now is one of the greatest shifts in recorded history. And we came here for this. So if you're still listening to me, you're here to lead, and you're here to uplift and assist the others, because people are going to be, I just got a brain fart. There's my friends. Hi, you guys. Hey, brother. Great to see you, Oren, Brian. Big love from Thailand. And so a lot of people are going to need assistance here. Love you too. Okay? People are going to get shocked into waking up. They're going to be confused. And they're going to need people that go, it's okay. I got you. I'm not going to judge you. I understand. And this is going to bring together more and more and more people, because the key is to unite. It's not to lash out and be all pissed off and angry at the external and the governments and all that. They're on their way out. You can see it happening if you're paying attention. I see it every day. My Facebook feed is filled with nothing but exposure and disclosure, and also very high vibrational posts to remind us that it's our thoughts, it's our words, it's what we focus on, and it's our vibration that is creating these myriad of timelines which are happening in every moment. And anything that we can even imagine already exists. So the newer timelines are here. They're already here. They're just inviting us to match that frequency. And little by little, we wake up every morning, we go, wow, I get another day here. How can I serve the collective? How can I serve the collective? It's not about what can I get for Jeff. I'd like a new car. I'd like a new home. That stuff's great. There's nothing wrong with having things in life, but the things that are really going to bring us peace and contentment are heart-based connections. It's not really external stuff that wears off. You can get a ton of money, then you're worried about hanging on to it. You can get a brand new car, then you want another car next year because whatever it is. Nothing lasts that I've found except for love and connection and mutual respect, compassion, and serving others, no matter what it is, whether it's your children or whether it's animals or whether it's the planet. Whatever it is, find something that you're passionate about. So anyway, if anybody has a question, a lot of you have heard this before. I come on, I just have to channel. I don't have a plan. I have a starting topic, but all I can say is the greatest shift in recorded history, which that's all pretty much been a lie, is happening right now, and you're part of it. So ask yourself, how can I share my own unique gifts with people? And that could just be, doesn't mean you need to go out and do a live or, be some big, out in the public person. You could just sit in a dark cave and send love to everybody. Send love to the planet. Send love to anybody that's in fear. Send love to anybody that needs healing. Send love to the animals. Send love to this incredible Mother Earth. Go walk out in nature and see what Mother Earth is doing. She's doing nothing but providing love and plants and trees and vegetables and animals and bees and butterflies and magic. You can't even take it all in. There's so much abundance. Just go on a short walk. Look around your room, and instead of worrying about money, because that's a low frequency, look around and start to name off every single thing that's in your frequency. Do you have a bed? Do you have a pillow? Do you have running water? Do you have electricity? Do you have music? Do you have glasses? Do you have a flute? Do you have a computer? Do you have a phone? Do you have a refrigerator? I mean, you're surrounded by abundance. And yet the number one game that they play is the lack of fake money. And we were never supposed to have to pay to live on this planet. And that is coming to an end. And you can see it happening. It's happening. Thank you, Peter. Thank you for the kind. Yeah, I have a home. Are you asking me? I rent a home. I don't need to own any. We don't own anything, you know. Maybe we can own love. But yeah, I have a place to live in northern Thailand that I love, and how I ended up here is a whole different story, but I love it, and I get to work in nature every day. I get to work with the wild doggies and the animals here, and it keeps me in my heart every moment, and it's gorgeous here. So, yeah. So, any questions from anybody? Anybody needs some love? Anybody needs some support? Anybody needs some energy? Last call I did a couple days ago, there were a couple people that had some issues with cancer and other things, and you know, we just blast them because they're us, and we give them support. So anyway, if anybody has any questions, pop it in. If not, then transmission is good. If anybody's interested in going through the process, yeah. Okay, here we go. You need a place to live? Okay. So, are you in Thailand? So, let's send 3 feathers, a bunch of energy, seeing the perfect place for her that's already there. It's just a matter of aligning frequencies and maybe a little bit of synchronicities. But yeah, I see a wonderful place for you. I see your heart. I've seen your heart for years, and I'm glad that you showed up with your beautiful smile. And so, okay, so everybody, before I go, let's do this. Let's blast the entire planet and beyond with love and gratitude. And for anybody that needs any assistance, for any of the fires that are burning, for any of the children that are still being trafficked, for just complete healing and a shift into higher timelines where there's no deception, there's no manipulation from governments. Here's the question. Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on that. Hi, Lou. But this will just it'll turn into a shit show if I comment on that. I will say, I wasn't pro-Trump. I'm pro-truth. I'm not pro-politics. It's all set up to separate people. But I will say, anybody that's a billionaire that has dedicated his life and has been the most targeted person on the planet in the history of our history to be assassinated must be working for the light. No matter what he's done in the past, we've all done things in the past, but somebody that could just be living with his gorgeous wife on the beach with no problems at all, that's working 18 to 20 hours a day, and all the evidence that I've seen of the good things that are happening, I'm in. And if we're deceived, then we're deceived, and whatever. We'll all go back to love or whatever it is. But my intuition's pretty decent. This may trigger some people, but I do massive research, and I have for a long, long time. And like one of my teachers said, don't believe me, don't believe yourself, but be very careful what triggers you and where you got that information from. Because most of the haters got all their information from the media. And of course they hate Trump because he's taken them down with the team. So, yeah. So anyway, that's my 3.5 cents worth. And so let's do this. Let's do, for the remaining people, we have 15 people on here. If anybody has any questions or needs a place to live or needs any healing or anything, pop it in so we can give you some love. Any feelings about me? Not necessarily, just love and gratitude. And you're perfectly playing your role, whatever that is. So thanks for being here right now. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to put on a little track that I did with some guitar and flute, and let's just blast the entire planet and beyond with love and gratitude, love and gratitude, love, healing, and gratitude. Okay? So let me get this thing. So here we go. You guys ready? Let's do it. See everybody healed. See these new earth timelines. Everything's lighting up like beacons everywhere. Popping. Boom, 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 boom. People are waking up. People are tuning into their love, their forgiveness, their healing. They're smiling. They see everybody as their mirror. Ramp it up. Feel it. Feel it going through every cell of your body with gratitude for this journey. See everybody being touched by the light of the Creator. Getting ready for the largest party ever on earth. Are you feeling it? With a knowing. This is why you came here. I know it might feel weird to do that, and it even feels weird for me sometimes to lead it, because I'm not a big spotlight guy, but I'm a big passion guy. And okay, we got something here. My drug addicted neighbors needs to be put out. What does put out mean? That sounds like a judgment. How about people that may have some issues could use some healing energy and some compassion? That feels in alignment with what we just did. Yeah. So anybody else have any questions? Okay. All I can say is thank you. If there's 15 people on here, that's what my number says. I don't know. But all I can say is thank you. This is it. This is the point where we choose which way we're going to go. We're either a victim or we're here to help and assist everyone else that may need some help. And we're here to forgive anyone we feel might have done us wrong. It was part of our soul contract. You don't have to believe me. And, I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm here to remind Jeff to never forget, because it took me a long time. And there were a few times when I was ready to check out. And I'm so glad that I didn't, because I would have just had to come back and do it again. But when you're in deep, deep pain, sometimes, and you don't have the answers, then, you don't know what to do. And when those programs of pain start running, it clouds the higher self from coming through. It's a distraction. And that's why the media and the government, that's why their whole thing is to get you to feed them with your negativity and your judgment and your fear and your doubt and your separation, because they can't create love on their own. They either don't know how, they don't have a soul. I don't understand it all. I know nothing. That's another mantra that will really assist people in moving into higher levels of conscious awareness. Saying I know nothing doesn't mean that you don't know anything. I know that love is the highest frequency, and I know, even though I can't prove it, that we are unlimited divine beings. We never die. The body might, but I invite you to begin playing with reversing aging and talk to every one of those trillions of cells first thing every morning that's been unconditionally loving you every single moment since you've been in the womb, without you having to even ask for anything. Begin to play with this stuff. And when I say I know nothing, that reminds my ego, Larry. I invite you to name your ego as well. That's part of the waking up in the dream process that I take clients through. So you can see when the ego wants to react and do what it does, what it was taught to do. It's just a survival mechanism. The ego isn't evil, and there's no way to kill it. It's a program, and it served its purpose. But when you can get the ego to begin to become your ally and switch over to the other shoulder, like in the cartoons, you got the good one and the bad one, whatever. Naming your ego will allow you to see the program when it's running. So I see Larry, and I'm like, okay, Larry, I see you. You can go sit in the corner now. We're going to shift that program, and we're going to begin to thank everyone and everything, and we're going to find the gift in every single situation. Because if we don't find the gift, it's going to come back again, because we're going to have to learn it to clear whatever that belief or wound is. So, like it or not, okay, this sucks. This sucks. I'm pissed off. I'm angry. Okay, I can feel that negative frequency in my body. So what am I going to do? I'm going to stop immediately. Instead of projecting and running that emotional trigger that's in my body and projecting it out there, I'm going to go, all right, I'm going to sit with this, and I'm going to give it my full freaking presence. And just by stopping and doing that and breathing, however many breaths it takes, this stops running its old program. And then you can see what the gift is. And right now, we're healing ourselves. Anybody that doesn't think they have anything to heal, I don't know what to tell you, but it maybe doesn't feel good to go, I need to heal something, or I don't even know what I need to heal. I was never taught how to heal. I don't even know how to do it. So I don't really even want to look at that part of my makeup. Well, I'm telling you right now that if you're in a human body, there's probably something to heal or clear for yourself, your family lineage, or the collective. And that's why you're still here. Otherwise, you wouldn't still be here. So, always find the gift, because if you don't, you're going to have to re-experience that same situation, challenge, relationship, or whatever. I would write that down. It's priceless. What is the gift here? What is this attempting to show me or teach me about me? And it's easy to love people that are loving and that are doing what we feel is the right thing to do, that we like. But when somebody does anything that we don't like, or they trigger our tiny little belief system, which is a prison. Your belief system's a prison. Even if you can argue that one, but it's a prison. And our beliefs wouldn't even fit on the head of a pin. And none of our beliefs are even our own. When you finally wake up and see this thing, you're like, wow, they really knew how to create the most incredible amusement park ever. What an incredible journey. So let's see what we got here. Okay, got it. Sending Vicky love and sending her neighbors love. And what I still see, though, Vicky, as a gentle reminder, you're still judging them and you're triggered by them. And I understand. I have neighbors that live next to me that are never kind, never smile, and I can feel the weird energy and frequency. So I have to keep reminding myself to just send them loving energy. Maybe it's time for you to move. Maybe you can't, whatever. But you're invited to shift your energy, because right now you're in resistance. I can feel it and I understand it. It's natural. Your situation and your peace of mind is threatened in a way. But you don't know their story. They're obviously doing drugs because they're wounded. That's why I drank. You know, I just wanted to get away for a little while. You know, so let's all send them a bunch of love to Vicky's area. And yeah, let's step into our power. Absolutely. Let's find the gift. Come on. Step back, zoom out. Anytime you're triggered or have a judgment, stop. And I'm telling you, I invite you, go through this process. This book is so affordable. You can go get it for half price right now. It comes with a daily tracking sheet that'll remind you to do these certain things every day. You fill it out every night. How many times did I catch myself judging? How many times did I have less than thoughts? How many times did I have fears? You're not going to catch them all. But here's the key to moving into higher timelines and healing. You cannot dismantle an old program or wound unless you can see it. If you're in denial, it's going to keep looping. If you don't want to look at it, it's going to keep looping. If you're willing to go, okay, I don't like this, it's painful, but let me just sit with this because nothing else has worked. So why don't I just give it my full presence? Why don't I set up a couple candles, maybe some incense, and really take some time to get present with myself and ask myself, my higher self, guides, guardians, if you feel like you have them, ancestors, please, can you give me some assistance? Or ask your higher self, what is this trying to show me or teach me? I'm ready. I'm ready to own my stuff. I'm not a victim. I'm ready to clear and heal this stuff and sit with it. And if you're truly ready and in your heart, you're going to start to see the program. You go through this process and start catching your judgments and triggers every day, you're going to become accountable. You are going to clear decades of automatics that are just running on a loop. And give yourself 30 days. Give yourself 60 or 90 days. And then you'll use these tools for the rest of your life. I promise you. I've never found anything that goes right to the root faster, ever. And I've taken a lot of courses and read a lot of books on healing. And some of them had some good stuff in them, but they didn't teach me how to go in and undo the underlying subconscious loop that was running. And that's what we will be teaching people in the newer schools. Children don't need to go to school for 12 to 16 years to get into the club and then give up the best 65 years of their life so then they can become tired. That's a double spell word. Means to recycle, tired, you know what that means. All this is shifting. It's time to start celebrating. But this transmission is about, are you able to see the bigger picture? And can you zoom out and be the conscious observer? Know that everything is perfect, even if it's ugly, but see the bigger picture. People are awakening. There's a healing going on. There's frequencies coming into this planet that are blasting everybody. And all you're invited to do is to tune in on a little deeper level. And I'm not saying that nobody out there isn't doing it. It's just a generalization for anybody that may be new or people may be wondering, what's all this weird stuff about conscious awareness and healing and whatever, you know? I get it. Yep, I get it. We're sending you lots of love. And thank you for being authentic and vulnerable enough to share your question and your situation. That's how we heal. We find people that are not going to judge us. And we say, hey, this is what's going on with me. And the people that have done their inner work will go, come here. They'll give you a hug. They'll listen without judgment. Yeah, here's one right now, sending you more love. So thank you, Vicki. Yeah, wounds are deep. They hurt. I've still got them. I don't know if they're mine but I can feel them when they come in. And my main triggers are when I see animals harmed, the planet harmed, the divine feminine, anybody harmed. You know, it's natural because we're love. But the key is to really observe and not allow those triggers to feed those that are attempting to keep us feeding them. So we send them a ton of love. We just send them a ton of love. You got to do it for Fauci. You got to do it you got to do it for everybody, all the governments. A lot of these people were blackmailed into doing what they're doing. You know, everybody's going to be held accountable, especially those that are intentionally harming us and the children. That's my biggest trigger, the PEDOS. But it's all being exposed, and we're going to have to be forced to look at it and heal it really soon over the coming months. And so it's happening. So I intend that anything I've shared might, you know, do something. If nothing else, I just keep reminding Jeff every day. And it feels good to do this because I can feel it in my frequency. And every time I get ready to do a live, I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to say. You know, does anybody want to hear this? Blah, blah, blah. And I just go, well, every time I do one of these, somebody reaches out and goes, thank you so much. I needed to hear that. Where I live, nobody's awake in my neighborhood. My parents are asleep. And that's usually the case, that one person will wake up in a family and can't understand why nobody else in their family can see what they see. Well, they come from a different generation, and we love them and we bless them because they brought us into this world. There was a soul contract. There's always a soul contract. So the only thing left to do is go, what is the gift here? Even though I'm pissed off right now. What is the gift here? Okay, fuck. What is the gift here? It'll get you out of hell every single time. Hey, Wendy, I sent you a couple messages that you didn't see. And yeah, so reach out. Let's connect. Thank you for showing up. Wendy's amazing too. She holds a wonderful frequency. If you don't know her, check out her page. She's got a great show where she interviews a bunch of amazing people. And yeah, with that, I think I'm going to leave it. But thank you for everybody for staying on. Thank you, everybody, for sending out love to everybody that can use it. Let's calm the fires. Let's calm the floods. Let's calm everything. And let's just really begin to see that all of this had to happen. You're the best. Thank you so much. All of this had to happen in order to wake people up, or we'd just do another 1,000 years of, okay, all right, I'll just pay to be on the planet and work for other people and be unhappy and hope and wish, which are two spell words which are weak. No, we intend. We see it as done. And it's already done. So the more we hold the frequency of seeing the newer timelines, which are already here, the faster they come. And the faster that we begin to catch any judgments, triggers, fears, doubts, and clear them, the faster we move into the new timelines. It's all frequency. It's a law. We may not like it, but as somebody says that a lot of people don't like, you're going to love the ending. Yeah. So big, big love from Thailand. If you feel like anybody would benefit from this, feel free to share it. And thank you for spending your precious time being here together with us and just being a light on the planet, you know? So anyway, big, big love. If you're interested in the book and the tracking sheet, it's half price right now on the website. Portal to Awakening, you've seen it on all my posts. If you want to give it as a gift to somebody that is having a hard time right now, I guarantee if they go through that tracking sheet, they will see programs that have been running for decades. And that's the only way to dismantle them, is to see them and shine the light on them. Oh, wow, how interesting. I just attempted to, okay, no big deal. Okay, so anyway, big, big love from Thailand. Stay excited. And if you'd like to connect, reach out. And my door is always open. Big, big love. Love you guys.